where are we at today?
We're at Pure Vegan here in Raleigh, North Carolina, where they have a delicious smoothies. This is a mango tango, and we're both loving it.
Yes, and we have these delicious golden fries. I'm not going to eat any on camera because you're going to hear the crunch. I don't want you to see it in my mouth. And also, we have these delicious chocolate chip cookies. They're going home with me. With that being said, but yeah, going back to the topic, there's been times in our relationship where you have made more money than me.
Yes.
I've made more money than you.
Yes.
There's been times where I didn't have any income being brought to the table. And during those seasons, we went through a series of emotions during that time. My wife was in banking, so I feel as though like your career may have took off a little earlier than mine. Because at the time, I was still entry-level contact center agent, just really trying to figure out what my next step was, how was I going to leverage my degree, go into a new company, etc. So just to be honest, as an investment banker.
I was an investment banker.
Well, you did investments.
I did some investments. I was bank management.
Okay, bank management, yes. Certified, and not only that, you were making base plus commissions.
I was
at the time. Yeah,
so it was
needless to say, my wife was making more than me.
Yes, I was.
At the time. I will say one of the things that I thought about at that time was, well, because you're in banking, that means you're better than me at managing our money.
I remember this.
Yeah,
there was a time, believe it or not. I know it's hard to believe, but literally, this guy didn't touch our finances.
No.
I mean, everything from paying bills to, moving money to savings to planning for, big life events, trips, whatever.
Exactly.
It was all here. He didn't know how much he made.
No, I was aloof.
He didn't know.
Yeah, I was aloof at the time. Yeah. And,
hard to believe, but yes.
Yeah, and my thought was, my wife's dealing with money every day. She's the expert. And it was some insecurity around what could I possibly bring to the table. She's working with $500,000 clients, multi-million-dollar clients. So to handle whatever we were making at the time, which was probably sub $100,000, would be nothing for her to handle. So I was wondering, let's play to our strengths here. Not understanding that I still did have a place in the finances.
Absolutely.
I still had a role in it. I definitely could have, as I mentioned in another video, took initiative when it came to communication, took initiative when it came to, hey, where are we going financially? Setting the overall financial vision, not just saying, all right, we're going to deposit our checks into this one account, and then from there, the bills, you basically take it from here, basically putting our finances on autopilot. That wasn't the right move. Do you kind of recall what changed things at all?
Well, I think that a lot of it came from convictions off of the financial classes we were taking.
I would agree.
Particularly when we took that ground financial course, which was the very first financial management course we took. Yeah. Biblically based, fantastic. But this guy transformed into a financial management monster afterwards. He wanted to be in it to the penny. He wanted to know everything was going to the penny. So that pendulum swung a little bit extremely to the other side, just a little bit.
She's getting to my personality.
Okay.
Listen, I'm either in or I'm out. So I would definitely use the term, I did beast up when it came to our particular finances. But then also, what I challenge men is on just consistency.
Yeah.
Just be consistent. Like, if we're going to have a time to meet and talk about finances, you show up. You set the atmosphere. You kind of lay out or draft some things that you want to talk about, maybe putting together like, okay, this is what we're going to talk about in these first 30 minutes or something like that. That doesn't take a calculator or an advanced degree in order to just take initiative and show up every time, because that consistency makes a big difference, and then you can build from there.
It does. I mean, honestly, even though you swung that pendulum really, really far to the other side, what I really yes, it is. Truly, it's in the stratosphere now. But what impacted me is your wife, is your partner. Was now I had my husband coming with such fervor and enthusiasm and commitment, intentionality. It made me feel like I wasn't in the finances alone, so it wasn't all on me. Took that pressure off. It's like, oh man, if I mess this up, I'm messing up our whole household, and it's all me. So now I really felt like I was part of a partnership in our finances for the first time, and that was huge. And then also too, I just want to say, it's very attractive when your husband's coming to you with financial objectives and concerns and thoughts and ideas. It's like, oh, okay, all right. But it just shows that it was now a priority for you.
Absolutely.
And that really resonated with me, that my husband's in this, and he's my partner in this, and we're gonna be great. We're gonna be golden. Because we're doing it together now.
Let me just interject one thing, because Natasha, my wife, she's telling the truth, but she's not telling the whole truth. What I mean by that,
okay, half liar already.
At the onset, my approach wasn't right, and I'm man enough to admit that. My in or out attitude means when I'm in, if I don't understand it at the onset, then it's worthless, and that's terrible. I admit that now.
All my spreadsheets got thrown out.
It was like, nope, we need to burn it down and we need to build this from scratch so I can understand it. I would rather do that than sit down and understand it. Again, that is a personality shortfall. I'm being vulnerable right now, so don't judge me in the comments. But after I repented and apologized, then I was able to get into being sexy about the finances, and I'm grateful for that.
And no, that rhythm was fantastic, but we couldn't have that rhythm of really good financial discipline if it was just me. If it was just all me, it wasn't. It just wouldn't have. I mean, I'm not saying we would have been destitute or bankrupt, but we would not have been able to achieve and experience the things that we have. No, better together. I know I say that almost like for every video.
On all fronts.
Better together. But I think you really tapped into something, and that is what motivated you to completely move yourself out. It sounds like was insecurity, and that's often I think what happens with these financial arguments, particularly about income disparities between partners, is motivated by insecurities. They're bringing in significantly more money, or you're not bringing any money in at all currently. Everything is heightened and sensitive. So even just a question like, hey, did you go to this store? Yes. I'm just checking through credit card. Did you go?
Why are you checking on everything?
Why is it exactly? That's exactly how it happens. That's how it happens. The person could be completely innocent. They might be just concerned about fraud, and they're just asking a question. So that's what I see. It's insecurity, and that has to be addressed. And I think one of the things is being really transparent, getting naked about, hey, you're making significantly more than me, or hey, I'm laid off right now, and I am very sensitive to all of our conversations about finances right now, because I feel like I'm not bringing anything to the table, or not bringing enough to the table financially for our family. And just to be honest about that, and then the other person needing to be just gentle, just practice a little gentleness.
Absolutely.
And give them a little grace, that hey, they're struggling with these feelings of inadequacy, if I could be so bold to say. And just keeping that in mind. Absolutely. And this was particularly important because there was a time where back in the 2008, 2009 years, I launched out with my own business, quit my job, went full-time into a marketing company. And at the onset, things were working out. Clients were, had some money coming in, but then most of my clients at that time were real estate based clients. And we all know what happens in real estate 2008, 2009. And just my clients stopped calling me, the revenue stopped. And all those money insecurities begin to come to the forefront, where I was feeling less than, or feeling like I didn't bring any value to the table. I remember actually, being in the closet, literally sitting in the closet on the phone with my pastor saying like, I failed, I messed up. And again, as an entrepreneur, if you're an entrepreneur, you don't have any coworkers. You kind of, it was just me, my computer, kind of isolated, making my cold calls, and these thoughts
word coming in my head, man, what if things don't work out? Man, I quit my good job and now I'm not adding anything to the table. And then once it was finally like, man, this is really not going to work out, it left me feeling lonely. It left me feeling like I didn't have any value. So how could I come to my wife and ask her about a charge or, ask her about budgeting where, there's a little voice in my head that says, you're not bringing anything to the table. You don't deserve to have this discussion right now.
I think that's a huge call out is, not feeling either you have the right or the entitlement to ask questions about your family's finances because you're not actually contributing to the finances. And the reverse, feeling like because you are contributing to the finances, you have the right to make all decisions and ask any questions and do whatever you want. So both sides
are equally wrong.
And both are equally wrong and equally dangerous for the family, for the household, and for your overall financial health of your home. And I've seen that, I've seen, unfortunately, friends, loved ones who, because they were stay-at-home moms, let's say, or just, were in school for a very, very long time, weren't actively, contributing to the income of their families, they never asked questions.
Wow.
And some things happened financially with their households, decisions that their husbands made, and they were completely oblivious to it because they just felt like they didn't have the right to ask or question anything. When they did, the reason why they had the right is because they are equally a partner.
Correct.
In that relationship and in the responsibility of stewarding the finances of that household, regardless of how much they're contributing. And I think that's where things get tricky. People, maybe it's just human to think that the more you contribute, the more right you have to influence decisions. Like one vote for every $1 that you that you bring to the table. It doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way.
It's equal, regardless of
that's going to be the
breakdown of the income allocation.
And then seasons change, things could change. So operating your finances as one unit is the best thing you can do. For us, we want to manage God's money God's way. So we don't even think about it as our money, and that changed things tremendously. So that way, we're not thinking about, you made this percentage or you didn't make this percentage. It's like, no, what does God want us to do with our overall finances? And then that ushered in us, I would say, playing more team ball, where it's just like, what? No, it's us against them now, regardless of who makes what, because job loss can happen. Unfortunately, disability can happen. Somebody may want to start a business, and that could change how things financially.
It's going to change things financially.
And in those circumstances, there needs to be an increase of communication versus a decrease more than anything. So I would say, if somebody's like, hey man, how should I approach this? Do we have, 2 accounts? Should we, you make these decisions on bills, I make these decisions on trips. I would say try to work at everything together, even though it's harder.
And takes
more time. In the end, it is well worth it.
Much better result.
Yeah, I would say overall. So let us know your thoughts about this. Let us know if you have other topics that you think are kind of cause heated fellowship in your relationship. We'd love to know that. And we appreciate you subscribing and sharing this video.